Hello, today we will be starting new unit third, hydrosphere. And here we will start with 10th chapter, tides and ocean currents. Ocean currents. As we know, Earth is mainly made up of three components. So the main components will be discussing the main components of Earth. So the main components of Earth which makes life possible, which make life possible. So we'll be starting with three main components. So these are first water, air, third is soil. So our earth consists of these three main components, that are water, air and soil. Now life exists where these components interact. So wherever there is an interaction of these three components, water, air and soil, wherever they interact, life is possible there. So life exists only when where these three life is possible. Possible or exists. Wherever these three components interact. These are the three main components the earth is made up of, and wherever these three components interact, life is possible or life exists there. The earth consists of four major subsystems. These subsystems we as well call as domains or realms. They are known as these subsystems. They are known as domains or realms. So we can say Earth is having four realms. Earth have four realms or domains. Which are they? First one, lithosphere. Lithosphere, it is related with soil, that is, it is related with land. Rock, etc., they all forms the land. So lithosphere, it is related with land. Second realm is hydrosphere. It is related with water, all forms of water. Third one, atmosphere. It is related with air. Now the fourth one is the life, that is biosphere. So the part of these realms where the life exists, that is termed as biosphere. So these are the four realms or subsystems we have. First is the lithosphere, it is related with land. Hydrosphere, it is related with water. Atmosphere, related with air. And last is biosphere, the part of these three realms where the life is formed, where the life exists, that is termed as biosphere. In this chapter, we will be limited to hydrosphere. So we are taking one of the realms, hydrosphere, and we will be discussing hydrosphere. So hydrosphere, it refers to part of the earth that is covered with water. That is covered with water. Therefore, in hydrosphere, we will be discussing that part of the earth which is covered with water. And it consists of hydrosphere. It consists of water in all its forms. It consists of water in all its forms. That is, solid, liquid or gas. For example, a running water, in oceans and rivers and in lakes. Ice in glaciers, underground water, and the water vapor in atmosphere and the water vapor in atmosphere. All these comprise hydrosphere. Of the Earth's surface, 71%, around 71% is covered by water. 71% is covered by water, and only 29% is land, and only 29% by land. Thus we can see that Earth is not covered uniformly. It is not covered uniformly. That is, water and land, they are not uniformly distributed over the Earth's surface. Here we can see water is covering around 71% of the Earth's surface. That is more than the twice covered by the land. We as well call Earth as a watery planet. The Earth is called as watery planet because it is nearly covered by 71% of the water. Most of the Earth's surface is covered by water, and just 29% is land. If we carefully examine the world map, we can see that in northern hemisphere, that is above the equator, in the northern hemisphere, the surface covered by the land as well water, they are nearly equal. So surface covered by the land as well water, they are nearly equal in the northern hemisphere. But in southern hemisphere, that is below the 0 degree, we can see that there is very less surface covered by land. There is very less surface covered by land. And here we can witness that nearly around 15 times the water is there as compared to land. So nearly 15 times as much water as land in the southern hemisphere. Now if we carefully study the globe, we can see that there is an antipodal arrangement. There is an antipodal arrangement of land and water. That is, if there is a land on one part of the earth, just opposite to that, there will be water. For example, in northern hemisphere we have the Arctic Ocean, and just opposite to that, in the southern hemisphere, it is the Antarctic. The oceans of the earth serves many functions. There are many functions of the earth. One of the function of ocean we will be discussing. Function of oceans. That is serves. That is, it especially affect the weather. And temperature. So we'll be discussing how the ocean affects the weather and temperature. So we'll be discussing ocean currents. As we proceed way into ocean currents, we will see how these ocean currents affects the weather and temperature. Discussing ocean currents. Like the atmosphere, the world ocean also plays important or significant role. It plays an important role in moderating the global heat imbalance, global heat imbalance. So global heat imbalance we have discussed. For example, this is the Earth. Here we have the equator, 0 degree. Then we have the tropics, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and mainly heat is concentrated in this area. Most of the heat is concentrated in this area, and this was the torrid zone. As we move from equator towards the pole, the amount of heat received from the sun decreases. So it creates the imbalance on the Earth's surface. And here, as the atmosphere, it balances this imbalance. It tries to balance this heat imbalance. Similarly, the world ocean as well plays significant role in moderating the global heat imbalance. How? By transferring water from equatorial regions towards the poles. By transporting water, that is, it is circulating water from equatorial towards the polar, from polar to equatorial regions. So the oceans, the oceanic circulation, transport heat from equatorial to polar regions. Ocean between the tropics, it get heated, and through oceanic circulation, that is ocean currents, the heat is transferred from equatorial regions towards the polar regions. And this is how this heat imbalance, it is moderated. Now we will be discussing what does ocean currents mean. What are ocean currents? They are the large scale movements of water, are the large scale movements of water which form oceanic counterpart to the atmospheric circulation. In atmosphere, due to heat imbalances, we have seen the circulation of the wind. The winds have been circulating, they have been transferring heat from equatorial regions towards the polar regions. So they are moderating the global heat imbalance. Similarly, ocean currents, they are large scale movements of water, and they as well transfer heat from equatorial regions towards the polar regions. So generally the ocean current is used for horizontal movement of water. So ocean currents, mainly this term is used. So generally the term ocean currents is used for the horizontal transport, that is horizontal movement in the uppermost around 100 meters of water. So generally it is used for the movement in the uppermost 100 meter of water, called as the surface layer. Therefore, ocean currents, they are nothing but large scale movements of water. Like the streams of river are flowing, they are the large scale movements of water, and they are around 100 meters in depth. So in uppermost 100 meter of water in the oceans, they move.